Hey guys, this is Code Freak here at One Up Definitive Studios, bringing you episode 5 of my video blog. I wanted to say thank you guys for joining me yet again. If you haven't already, like, subscribe at the bottom of the screen. Also, click on the little link down over here for my personal blog. It's one I write about every couple of days. I'll post something there. Some fantastic stuff, reached a lot of people. Definitely a good read. Like, share on WordPress.com as well, so that way you can be able to spread the love around. And speaking of love, it is Valentine's Day, so wanted to do a little bit of a segment on this. Just basically, hey, it's a day we use to hold all those people close to us a little bit closer. Let everyone know that we love them for your significant others. Me personally, I think anybody can be a Valentine. It's one of those I like to go out and spread as much love and cheer as possible on Valentine's Day, because it can be really lonely out there for some people who don't have anybody. And honestly, a Valentine can be, a best friend. I look at both my beautiful daughters. I do something very special for them, for my girls. I do this because I want to make sure that they understand that, hey, what the point of Valentine's Day is. It's not just, oh, hey, just that one significant other person that, makes such a special deal in your life. That's part of it. The other part is there's so many other people that are special in our lives as well. And you just kind of want to spread that love and cheer around a little bit to everybody. And so I make sure to go out and I buy them special little gifts and presents, and I do a little candy bag, or this year I did little pony bracelets, because let's be honest, it's Hearts and Hooves Day for us as well as bronies. And I just make sure to go all out to make sure that they have a very special day as well. And we usually do red velvet pancakes in the morning, because they love the red velvet pancakes on Valentine's Day. It gives them that sense of, hey, look, it's Valentine's Day, we got the red velvet hearts now. And so it's a lot of fun. I really do enjoy it. And again, I do that because I want to set the standard for them, so when they find somebody who's special in their life, they can see how they should be treated. And in saying that, again, who we have around us, we want to treat those people special as well. I try to send messages to my personal friends, because it's not just one individual that I try to focus all my love and attention to. I mean, I love my wife dearly, but then there's a lot of other people as well that I want to say, hey, thank you, love you too. And just sit there and celebrate it with everybody around you, instead of it just being that one particular person, because I can guarantee you there's people out there that don't have anybody to say that to them, and it's very difficult, especially this time of year, just to sit there and be going through it either alone. I know friends who've lost loved ones here recently. I know other people are going through some very hard financial times, and I just want to make sure that if you haven't already, or even if you're getting to this video a little bit late, just send that little personal message and just be like, hey, just want to let you know I love you, man. And I did that to my best friend today. He hadn't spoken to him in about a month, and I wanted to just say, hey, bro, no, you don't have a girl right now. Just say, I'm here for you. Love you, bro. And it was one of those, I made sure to reach out and say something. And I encourage you guys to do that kind of every day, just because you never know whose life you're going to touch and how you're going to change their life just by letting somebody know that they are special. And so, while we're speaking of love, the new Deadpool came out this weekend, the new movie, and I was super excited about it. I'm a huge Deadpool fan myself. It is a love story. It's fantastic. I try not to do any big spoilers or anything like that, but the movie is absolutely fantastic for the specific audience that it's geared towards, adults. And it was really fun going in there, watching it with some, grown-up friends of mine, to sit there and see a character that I've been watching and reading in comics for a long time now, and see the character portrayed very well. I'm very much a detail-oriented person, and I like to see when somebody gets a character correct. And they definitely did that this time around, and I was so happy of it. They even gave really big hints that Deadpool was a brony, but what he did with that pony is... oh God, why? Yeah, so in speaking of that, and I've mentioned adults a couple times, I was so upset. There were 6 kids under the age of 10 at a rated R movie. And I'm not talking, oh, hey, they're babies or infants, because, hey, they're not going to know anything going on. Parent keeps it quiet. I have no problem with, infants being at a movie, because, hey, parents won't need to get out too. What I have a problem with is when you have your 10-year-old running up and down the aisles and quoting the movie, and when Deadpool mouths off, let's be honest, it's rated R for a reason. They went through the list and said, how can we make this movie more rated R? And I think they actually just use that as a checklist, going, okay, full nudity, male, female, every word in the book. Hey, let's make up a couple more curse words just for it. And it was a terrible movie as far as what it had in it. But then again, Deadpool's a terrible person. He's never considered himself a hero. He's always been that anti-hero archetype. And it's one of those things where I understand that if you want to take your kids to that, if you're one of those progressive parents there, okay, you're trying to, I guess, instill in them the sense of what the real world is or anything like that. I just feel that's very dangerous to a child's psyche. I mean, what are you thinking, honestly? It's not something that I want my child's going screaming around anything really he says, or even his attitude about anything. It's not a comic book hero movie. It is very much a rated R, blood, gore, violence, and every word in the book with lots of sex and nudity. And you're bringing your children to this. Why are you doing this? I mean, do you honestly do anything else and watch anything that they're watching? I mean, what shows are they watching on TV? Do you let them watch HBO after 10 o'clock? Because, hey, there's some wonderful television after that, let me tell you. Are you watching any of the video games that they play? I used to work for a video game retailer. I won't mention the name on here. But I used to watch parents come in all the time and buy their children Grand Theft Auto, and I'm like, who's this for? Oh, it's for my 10-year-old. Do you really want to give them this? I just had a little boy today who I was helping teach, and he was like, yeah, I'm going to go blow the head off of the Burger Man down the street. And I'm just like, excuse me? And he's like, yeah, I play Grand Theft Auto. And I'm like, you're 8. Why are you doing this? And it bothers me so much that parents just lack any of the care nowadays to really get involved with their kids' lives. I'm not always interested in everything my kids do, but I at least try to support them in it. My daughter came up to me today and said, hey, Daddy, I like One Direction. I had to take a moment and go, I really don't like the band, but you know what? If that's what you like, sweetie, that's fine. And I help support and encourage. And I, again, know who One Direction is and all that, but I at least get involved. I at least show interest in what they're interested in. And I just worry that parents who just, let's go buy South Park, the game, because guess what? It's a cartoon. All cartoons are for kids. I had that mom come back in the very next day and go, this game is terrible. Why do you sell this to children? And I go, we don't. It's rated M for mature. Did you read the list of stuff? Remember me telling you about all these things? Oh, I wasn't listening to you. Well, thanks, ma'am. Well, I told you all of the stuff in there. Well, you should be fired for selling children this. And I'm like, I don't. You have to be an adult to buy this. You have to be an adult to go watch a rated R movie. And it really seriously pisses me off that parents just don't care and just go, here, go ahead, watch whatever you want, play whatever you want. And I really do think it is starting to affect kids' mind. Now, I'm not saying, hey, don't let them do anything, don't let them play anything, or, sit. It's not what I'm trying to say. What I'm trying to say is at least use reason in this. Deadpool clearly has all the warnings. I mean, Ryan Reynolds himself on his Facebook came out and said, hey, don't let kids see this movie. This is not a movie for kids. Let them go see Civil War. That's going to be a comic book hero movie. Go let them watch that. And honestly, he was right. It's not a movie for kids. So please, a little PSA for your parents. If you're thinking about taking your kids to see Deadpool and they're over the age of 4 and below the age of 17, I would highly recommend that you do not. But go see it yourselves because it's a fantastic movie for adults. And finally, I wanted to kind of touch on, I had a recent blog post about depression, and I go pretty well in detail. And if you hadn't read my blog at all, again, the links down here. It's one of those, depression comes around this time of year for several reasons. One, Valentine's Day, having a lot of people who are alone on that day. Also, it's the cold wintry months. They've actually done quite a few studies on this, where the cold winter months, everything turns gray or white, and gets, everyone's locked up in their house, getting a little stir crazy and everything. Depression spikes in the winter months. And here in Texas, unfortunately, winter is January, February, March for us. It's really weird because we'll be 80 degrees on Christmas Day, and then New Year's, we usually have snow. It gets a lot of fun, Texas weather, I tell you. But I just wanted to kind of point out again to everybody, if during this time of year, it's really easy for people to slip into depression. Look for those signs. Look for the signs that people show. I kind of list them on my blog, but if someone is, being withdrawn, not really speaking out, try to find those people on your friends list and Facebook. Try to do a message a day. I challenge you to kind of go out there and do that just to see if anybody else, is kind of going through anything that maybe you are going through. As someone who suffers from depression myself, I try to sit there and send messages out going, hey, was thinking of you, want to make sure that you're doing okay. I hope you have a wonderful day. And just those little comments, reaching out and everything like that. It makes it so, it's so nice, because I've received several of those comments before, and it's just like, I can't tell those people enough thank you for all the things that you do, because it's one of those, it really does reach out and make a difference in somebody's life. Be patient with those people, because again, they're not going to want to do a lot of things. They're going to be kind of cooped up in their house and all that, and they definitely don't want to talk to people. So reaching out, sending a nice little message, being able to type it out and everything like that, it's one of those things that it's easier for them to read and react to, because having to talk to somebody on the phone can deal with some of the anxiety and everything like that. It gets a little difficult. And for anybody out there suffering from depression, I mean, it's definitely that one day at a time thing. Just make sure that you're taking it one day at a time. Reach out. I mean, again, I put out there for all my friends, hey, if you got a chance, talk to me, reach out, call me, 3 o'clock in the morning, don't care. I'll talk to you. And make sure to be that kind of friend, or just acquaintance to anybody if you can. And so everybody from here, One Up Definitive Studios, wanted to say thank you. Hug a pony, because I forgot last week. Oh my God, it's so terrible. But yes, hug a pony, my friends, and I will see you next week.